Hi everyone, I'm Sushil. I'm a certified fitness and nutrition coach. I help people achieve their fitness journeys. I thought of creating this video for the most common misconception that I keep hearing from almost everyone. A lot of people whom I talk to and we talk about diet, we talk about nutrition, they're like, you know what, I've stopped eating rice, I've stopped eating this particular food, and I think now I'll achieve my fitness journey. And that triggered me to create this video. In this video, I'll talk about two broader categories, and then I will explain the logical concept behind it, and then I'll share my personal experience or my personal journey or what I did, right? Let me start with the example first of all. I'll give example of a person I was talking to yesterday, and he's from northern side of India, he's from Bihar. Rice is their staple food, and he's fond of eating rice. He can't survive without rice. That's the kind of love he has for rice. And now he has stopped eating rice. And he's telling me, you know what, I've stopped eating rice and now I think I'll achieve my fitness journey. And he's thinking he's already seeing his weight loss. Now I'll explain it in detail. But first, let me categorize this into two broader category of people. One, there are people who stop eating meal altogether, right, in the name of intermittent fasting. And there is a second category of people who stop eating a particular food that they love. It might be their staple food or something else, and then they're really craving for it. They're feeling guilty, but they've stopped eating because somebody else has told them. And I'll talk about both the categories in detail. See, there can be a possibility that you love doing it. Intermittent fasting is well researched. We know its impacts, its uses, its benefits. But if you don't love it, you're doing it just because somebody has told you to do it and somebody else has done it and they have seen changes and now you think you will do it also, then it's not for you. But if you love it, then go for it. So first category that I talked about, intermittent fasting, the people who have completely stopped eating certain meal. For example, they'll eat breakfast and lunch and then they're not even having anything else, and then they're hungry all the time, they're craving for it, they're feeling guilty. Do you really need it? Do you really have to be hungry to lose fat? No, you don't have to do it. The whole logic of losing or gaining fat is all about energy balance. You have to be in deficit to lose fat, and you can split your meals throughout the day. You can have your meals at regular interval and still make sure that you're in deficit and you'll still lose fat. You don't have to be hungry. You don't have to crave for something. You don't have to be in that guilt mode all the time because you are trying to lose fat. And now, see, there are multiple impacts that it can have. If you're hungry all the time, you're not able to focus. You lose your focus. You'll have mood swings. You will not feel like working. So don't go into that zone where you're impacting your mental well-being because you are trying to lose fat based on diet somebody else has told you. The other logic behind it is every body is different. Any meal plan, any diet plan that works for me might not work for you. Any diet plan that is working for you might not work for me. Right? So that is why diet plan, meal plan is customized for every individual. Now there are multiple reasons for it. You might have a different goal altogether. I might have a different goal altogether. Your food pattern is different. Your eating pattern is different. Mine is different. So stop following somebody else's diet and think that it will work for you. Understand your body, understand your needs, and avoid these hacks. That was the first category that I was talking about. The second category that I talked about was people who stop eating a certain food. For example, talking about rice, because that is the most common misconception that I keep hearing, that I've stopped eating rice. Do you really have to stop eating rice? No, you don't. Now, let me go back to the example that I told you about the person that I met in the gym who had stopped eating rice and now he is seeing the weight loss journey. Is he seeing that weight loss because he has stopped eating rice? Probably. But was that necessary? No. Let me break it down. For example, before making the change, he was having a full bowl of rice 3 times a day. And I expect a bowl of rice to be roughly 250, 300. Let's keep it simple. 300 calories, full plate of rice, and he's having 300 calorie rice 3 times a day. Now he has made the change, he has stopped the rice and he's just having one chapati, for example, and chapati is 100 calories. Now he has already made a difference of 200 calories in a meal and roughly 500-600 calories in a day. That is the reason why he's seeing the impact. I mean, this was probably the deficit that his body needed, and because of making the change, now he's seeing that weight loss. It is not because he has stopped eating rice. It is because now he is in deficit. Now, could he do it by still eating rice? Yes. He could have avoided skipping the rice altogether. Instead of having full bowl or full plate, make it a quarter and then make some adjustments with your macros, right? So you don't have to stop eating something. You don't have to skip your meals. Right? That's what I wanted to explain. And I'll summarize it with my example. Now I was shredding. I was down to 7% body fat. When I started my shredding journey, I started with 2300, 2400 calorie meal and had a lot of margin. I was eating ice creams. I was eating sweet because I could adjust it. I could accommodate this in my meal and still manage my macros. And when I was at the final stage of my shredding, I was down to 1300, 1400 calories where I did not have any margin. So I could not adjust those sweets or whatever I wanted to eat because I had a particular target to achieve. Now, if you are somebody who is just trying to be fit, you don't have to skip anything. You don't have to crave for something and feel guilty about it. You can adjust your macros and still accommodate that food. But if you are, for example, a bodybuilder who has to go on stage, who has a competition in 2-3 weeks, or if you are a model who has a photo shoot in 2-3 weeks, then it is a separate case altogether. You have to be in a particular condition. To achieve that condition, you probably would have to skip certain meals for a particular time, and then once that goes, you can still eat it. Right? So you get my point. Understand your body, adjust your macros, and you should be good. I hope that helps. Thank you.